What is going on, ladies and gentlemen and children of all ages? Sammy here, your favorite statue reviewer, as usual. And I have returned with a review of a statue that I actually admittedly was not planning on getting. But I'm glad I did. This is the Elektra premium format statue that was released as a companion piece to Daredevil, which I have Daredevil. I got pre-ordered Daredevil ages ago. Got him. I have a review on him as well, and I love him. He is incredible. Now, Elektra was shown at around the same time. Excuse me. Elektra was shown at around the same time Daredevil was. And when they were both shown, I love Daredevil a lot more as a character and as a statue. I just really liked Daredevil more. Sculpted by Daniel Bell. I mean, I could tell from the pictures that he was the better of the two. And I saw Elektra, and I wanted her. I like Elektra. I like her as a character. I think she's a great companion to Daredevil. His long lost love interest from college. They came back, enemies and friends. Depending on what runs and what stories you've been reading, but they've been enemies. They've been friends. They fought together. They fought against each other. I think she's the perfect companion to Daredevil. And I wanted I wanted a statue of Elektra to go with Daredevil. I have Daredevil right there. I don't know if he's in frame right now, but I have him here because I'm going to compare the two and show you them side by side later. But I wanted a statue of her, and I saw the reveal for this statue, and not that it was bad, but I wasn't really feeling it all that much. Clearly that changed because here she is. But yeah, at first I really wasn't feeling her that much. Because, in the beginning, they didn't show that arm, for example. They just showed the arm pointing down with her size. And I was like, I don't know, man, that pose, it just feels weird. And the angle they showed the picture at, I was like, dude, that pose just doesn't really work. But then time passed. We got the full reveal, where it had the swap out arm and it had extra weapons too, the katanas, which the katanas aren't like a make or break. It was just pretty cool to have. The katana with the outstretched arm is pretty badass. But when they showed that arm that I have attached right now pointing out, I was like, all right, this is looking pretty cool, looking pretty dank. But I still didn't pull the trigger. I still did not. I was like, I don't know, something is just holding me back a little bit. I couldn't tell you for the life of me what it was that was holding me back, but something was. I mean, I think honestly, looking at her in front of me, I think it was like her costume. Not that I thought it was a bad costume, but the boots, for example, seemed a bit too much. I was like, I don't know, man, would she really be decked out in these big ass hiking boots that she has? It was something was holding me back, and I really couldn't tell what it was. So I never pre-ordered her. Never did. Just got Daredevil, who I was really happy with, and I was gonna be cool with that, for as my Hell's Kitchen display, because I have Punisher coming in when he comes out. So Daredevil and Punisher will look cool together. Guess I don't really need Elektra. But then in-hand pictures started coming out for people who did get her. And seeing the in-hand pictures, I was like, okay, she came out really, really well. The female Sideshow can sometimes mess up the faces on the final product for females, but no, it looks fine. And I just saw pictures of her in people's displays with Daredevil, with these other switch outs and stuff, and I was like, all right, she came out well. I think I'm gonna have to snag this one for my cheap little cave. And so clearly I did. and now I'm here to talk about her because that's what everyone wants me to do. I got her, and everyone's like, "Where's your teal couch review?" And I'm like, "All right, well, just give me a minute, well, like 2 minutes or 2 weeks, it'll come." And here it is. So, Elektra is not sculpted by Daniel Bell. I looked up who sculpted her for this video, and I already forgot. So you're gonna have to forgive me. But whoever sculpted her did a great job, and we're gonna talk about that because although I do still think that Daredevil is the better overall statue, there are aspects of this one here that I like more than Daredevil. I keep pointing, looking over there, and if he's not in frame right now, then I'm gonna look really dumb, kind of just pointing to something off camera. But you'll see him later. I'm gonna bring him in here. So let us begin where all statue reviewers usually begin, because I'm a blind sheep and I can't make my own decisions. The base. Now this is one of the things that I like more than Daredevil. I really like Elektra's base more than Daredevil's base. Daredevil's base is really cool. It's well done. It's a serviceable base. Nothing like super impressive. But looking at the two bases side by side, first of all, I like the little gargoyles. That's what they are, right? The little gargoyles on here. I think they're a great touch, and the fact that like one of them is broken off, and they have the glass, like little stained glass on her base, just like on Daredevil's. But unlike Daredevil's, the glass here actually has some color, and you can kind of see it and kind of not, depending on how the light hits it. Like right now, I'm looking at it because I have like daylight lighting coming in through these windows, which is what I use for the reviews. I'm not fucking fancy. I'm not gem mid with my little soapboxes and stuff. God, you don't flex that hard, dude. But yeah, it's like blue and green, and even some glass pieces are broken in the middle. Like the glass here, even though it's really minimal, I like it better than on Daredevil's base. And I think this base has more color variation than on Daredevil's too. There's like I don't know what the color actually is, but there is more color. It's like a brownish, whereas Daredevil's is like there's almost no variation whatsoever. It's like all gray. But here, there is more. So yeah, base, I like the base on Elektra's more. Now getting up to the actual character. I don't know where to start, because I really, I thought the pose looked awkward in pictures. Even with the extended arm, I still thought something about the pose was like, I don't know, man. I just don't think it works. But seeing her in front of me, I really, really, really like it. I think the money shot, honestly, is looking at her from the back, which I understand sounds a little, but it's not to be that way. I just really think that it flows so much better when you look at her from behind. Her body and like how the whole statue fits together. I just enjoy that view the most. Again, not to sound like, I don't know, I know I'm gonna get that, but that's just how it works for me. And everything, like her sash, her bandana, it's like the wind is flowing and everything's flowing in the right direction and everything. It's such a museum pose, yet so dynamic at the same time. And I love when, sculptors can capture that, because they did a good ass job. Her costume, following the current trend for Sideshow, it's a modernized look for her while still retaining some of the classic aspects that make her Elektra. You look at her and you'd be like, yeah, that's Elektra. Like, she may not look like the Elektra you grew up reading or the Elektra but it's Elektra. Like her boots, there's super modernized boots, which they're more tactical, and honestly, when you think about it, they make more sense, because if you're gonna be jumping around the rooftops, ninja assassin style, that's the kind of shit you're gonna be wearing, let's be honest. You know, it may not look like any comic book that you may have ever read, but it's more practical and more tactical. You know, her costume moving up has like the same touches. It's still at its core a classic Elektra costume, but you can definitely tell that they added their own touches to it, which I don't mind. You know, I mean, I'm all for modern. I think I've said this before in different videos, maybe one video or a couple, but I always appreciate modern takes on characters because it lets artists, you know, flex their imaginative muscles. You know, if a sculptor just had to follow a comic book design with no room whatsoever for creativity, yeah, you get your comic book pure character representation, but it'd be kind of boring if every statue was like that. So I like when sculptors can be like, all right, I'm taking this character, I'm gonna add my own touches to her, but it's still gonna be this character. You know? It's what Daniel did with Daredevil, and it's what, still can't remember the sculptor, but it's what whoever did with Elektra. Talk about the paint, then we'll go to switch outs. Now the paint on this, paint is usually what I'm most observant of when Sideshow products are released, because not that I dislike Sideshow whatsoever, I love them and I still think they are, even though a lot of the stuff they come out with I don't really care for, but it's mostly because I'm more focused on what I collect. But Sideshow is still number one for me. They come out with so much all the time, and usually, even if it's a statue I'm not interested in, like a lot of stuff they reveal I don't care for. You know, like I'm on an X-Men collector, I'm on an Avengers collector, I'm Spider-Man and I guess Hell's Kitchen now. But a lot of stuff they come out with is a hit for me. I really like their designs and stuff, but admittedly, they have had their misses, like every other company out there. Everyone likes to hail XM as the one true god when they have tons and tons of issues, but we won't get into that. This is a review. But I wanted to see how the final product came out looking paint-wise. And not that this statue lends itself to an extremely complex paint job, but I just wanted to make sure that it came out fine, especially the skin tones, the face, the eyes, the variations in red. And I'm happy to say that I looked this over a lot when I got her, and no flaws as far as paint goes whatsoever. Like I already mentioned on the base, paint is varied in the base, makes it really nice. The paint in the glass is great. Her boots, like there's nothing out of the lines. No lace, like the laces are all painted black. There's no bleeding into the red. And same with her costume, and it's not all one shade of red either. You can probably tell from pictures, but there's a lot of variations in the reds in her costume. Some of it's darker, more scarlet, some of it's brighter, and it keeps it from looking so monotone, because when you have, you know, with Daredevil, instead of just keeping it red, they added like black aspects to it, so that gave it more variation. But like if they had kept Daredevil all red like in the classic costume, it could have looked more monotone. Comic accurate, yes, but monotone. And with Elektra, they didn't really do the same thing they did with Daredevil. Yeah, there's like a couple of black spots here and there, but for the most part, she still has her all red costume. So instead of making it all one shade of red, there is a lot of variation, and I appreciate that a lot. The portrait is spot on too. It's really good. I remember when she came out, when she was first revealed, people were like, "Oh, she looks disgusting," and she looks like insert actress's name here, which is a new trend for Sideshow. Compare all their female faces to actors. Okay. Go off, I guess, but I think the portrait came out spot on. It pervades like a certain expression of sadness, almost like a cold sadness, which is what I think of when, you know, Elektra's like a flawed, like tragic character. I mean, she's a cold-blooded assassin, and I think that expression captures it perfectly. Now, obviously, you know, do I look at it and be like, "Oh yeah, that's the Elektra I grew up reading"? No, I mean I don't. But this isn't the comic accurate statue. But I like the portrait, I do. And I like the hair flowing, the sash on her little do-rag. You know, I do have a replacement portrait on the way, just because mine isn't sitting 100% flush with her like neck or shoulders or whatever. It's nothing like terrible, but it's there, and I figured, you know, if I can get a new portrait, why not? So yeah, they're sending me a new portrait. But other than that, I have no issues with her. Let's talk about switch outs, then we'll wrap this up. Actually, we'll do a comparison with Daredevil first, and then we'll wrap this up. So what you see here, the setup I have right now, that's what comes with the regular edition. The regular edition, you just get her size, which are, you know, what she's known for. Actually, the regular, you also get the arm. The switch out arm comes with both editions. It's the weapons that are the exclusives. So this is the setup I have her now with in my collection. I like this. I thought I'd like the katanas more, honestly, but I don't know, the size are Elektra's weapons, so kind of have to go with that. The katanas do look cool, and I'm going to show you all the configurations. So I want to show you the like arm that she was first shown with. So take this. The seam is hidden extremely well too. I mean, you cannot tell it's there. So kudos for that. Let's put this arm down. So this is her regular, not regular, but like what she was first shown with. And I remember the picture that they had showed us when they first showed her was like from here, from this angle. Not from what I'm looking at, but from what you guys see. And I saw that and I'm like, I don't know, dude, that doesn't really looks like a pinup pose almost. But seeing it in person, this pose does work in certain angles, especially from behind. Like, I just think it flows so much better with her arm out, and it works. So yeah, I do like this setup more than I thought I was going to. But I think the extended one looks so much cooler. Let me show you this arm setup with the katanas, and then we'll show you the other one. Oh, wrong hand. No. Yeah, that's definitely the wrong hand. Okay, I'm an idiot. Don't mind me, folks. So this is the arm down pose of the katanas. Again, looks really cool. It really looks fucking badass. Wait, do I have these hands on right? Yeah, I do, right? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. The katanas are really dope too. Like they're detailed. Like the hilt or the little circle. It's not called the hilt, right? I don't know what it's called. But it has like a little extra detail. It looks like a dragon sculpted into the little circle part. So yeah, that is the arm down with katanas. Let me show you outstretched arm with katanas, and then we'll go back to the setup that I had. Boom. There is that. That is really, really cool. Like, I really like this one. It takes up a lot more space though, because obviously. So yeah, that looks amazing, and honestly, I was battling between this and the size for a while, and this does look so much more badass, but I don't know, dude, like the size is what she's known for, and it's what I attach her to, so I'll probably go back and forth between katanas and size, if I'm being completely honest. I'm not going to be able to pick like just one. So let's go back to the size. And then last thing that I want to do is just show you, I'm not going to go into like too much detail, I just want to show you how her and Daredevil look side by side. And then we will wrap this up. So yeah, that's what I have right now. So let me show you. We were Daredevil over here. Alright, so here's that boy Matt Murdock. again, they go incredibly well together. They go so well. They're amazing companion pieces. And I'm glad I picked Elektra up to go with them. You can see the bases, hers looks more varied, in my opinion at least. Some people might prefer Daredevils, but I prefer Elektra's. You know, the costumes go so well together. They both have that modernized look to them while still retaining the necessary characteristics for you to distinguish them as who they are. You know, you can see Daredevil's costume is a deeper, darker red, while Elektra is a bit more vibrant in most areas. And they just, I don't know, they just go so well. Amazingly well together. So yeah, I just wanted to do a quick side-by-side for you to see how they look. You know, if you're debating, if you have Daredevil and you're debating, you know, should I get Elektra? If you were in my shoes, just do it, dude, do it. If you have her and debating him, also do it. They're both incredible. And I think when Punisher gets here, he will round out this display very nicely. His base doesn't really go with these two, but I mean, it works. It'll be fine. It'll be a nice street level Marvel hero display. So yeah, that's it really. Appreciate you guys watching as always. And I'm trying to think, I have XM Elektra coming in soon, hopefully. I don't know when he's gonna get here, but you'll get a video on him too. And then I got Punisher in October. I don't really have much, honestly, coming in. I mean, I'm just chilling with what I have now. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. Love each and every single one of you. And until next time, keep it real, keep it teal. See you guys.